My name is Justin Golak, and I do look like this. And that is because my mom is Hispanic and my dad is Polish. And if you want to do it, that's the best way. Because then you get to grow up in a rich, vibrant culture, and you also get a white last name. So, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. I don't know if you've been around the country recently. A lot of me's. Growing demographic me. But every once in a while I run into a Tucker Fernandez and I'm like, ooh, so close. Almost had it, amigo. Almost. I feel like my dad loves me too much for me to ever be successful. I don't know if anyone else is worried about that. I just feel like I've been looking at great men throughout history, just looking at these great men. Because I'm like, I'd like to be great someday. I look at these great men throughout time, see if there's something I can glean from their experience, some sort of secret sauce. And I have found something. I found connective tissue amongst all great men. Shitty fathers. That seems to be the force behind it. So I don't have that. I'm not lucky enough to get that, but I don't know. I feel like single mothers get a lot of applause breaks. You know what I mean? Maybe too many. A few too many. I feel like anytime I'm watching someone get inducted into a sports hall of fame, he's got some teary-eyed acceptance speech about his single mother, and it's like, okay, she didn't do nothing. She fed and clothed you for 18 years. That's not nothing. But let's not pretend that you're not on that stage because of the burning hatred you have inside for your shitty father. You know what I mean? Like, that's what propelled you to all those MVPs. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. Have you seen sports before? Dunks? Touchdown celebrations? Does that look like I love you, Mom energy to anybody? Or does that look like some guy like, I'm Big Me now. I'm Big Me. Are you here? You never were. I mean, it feels good to make $1 million and buy your mom a house. It feels better to make millions of dollars and not buy your shitty dad anything. That's the better feeling. But I don't have that. My dad, 3-4 years into doing stand-up, my dad took me out for dinner and he's like, I know when you were younger you seem a little unfocused. People were a little worried about you, but I wasn't. I knew you just needed to find something you were passionate about. And I see you doing that with comedy. I see you buckling down, working hard. I just want you to know I'm proud of you. And I was like, I'm going to die poor. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. It's fucked up, dude. Not good. I feel like Joe Jackson, father of Michael Jackson. I feel like he gets a bad rap sometimes. You know what I mean? Like that music didn't come from nowhere. You know what I mean? Like people always ask, like, Thriller, perfect album. How'd we get it? Every time we didn't get it, he got hit with a crowbar. That's how we got it. It's not a good story. This is a true story. Pretty much. I'm just kidding. I'm being facetious. You know what I mean? I don't want to be raised like that. But it just makes you think, pros and cons, right? We're recording an album tonight. It's not going to go double platinum. It's just not. I also don't need medical grade anesthetics to take a nap. You know what I mean? So it's like both got benefits from how we were raised. But that's what I always think about. How do you raise a good kid? How do you make him want to strive for excellence but also not go off the rails at some point? I think you just got to figure it out. You got to experiment. I don't have kids, but if I did, I would just try to do my best. Just try to do a little bit better. I would just sit my kids down and just say stuff like, I just want you to know I love you very much, but I don't respect you. Something like that. I think that could make a good kid. I want you to know whatever happens, I will always be there for you, but I think you're a weak person. Something like that. I think that could all make good kids. I lost about 20 pounds recently, which I agree, it's not enough. It's not enough. 20 pounds is not enough to still look like this. Does that make sense? Like, this isn't a good after for 20 pounds. When I tell you I look, like if I told you I looked like this and I had lost 200 pounds, you'd be like, well, you look like amazing. Because I assumed you looked like dog shit before. When I tell you I've lost 20 pounds, you're like, oh, so you looked about the same, but were more happy? Mm-hmm. For sure that. For sure that. I eat healthy. Does anyone eat like shit all the time? Anybody? Yeah. Don't stop, dude. It's the best. It's the best thing you can do with your life. Eating shitty. If you eat like shit 3 times a day, you get a treat. 3 times a day, you're just like, ooh, what now? You know what I mean? What should I get? Sweet, savory, both? I don't know. What are they offering? I don't get to do that anymore. I eat salads. Woof. Salad's not food. Not the way I'm used to it. To me, food, as I was raised, it needs to fire off synapses. It needs to make you feel something besides full. You know what I mean? Like it needs to move a needle. Salad is not food the way I've defined it. Salad to me is just an agreement not to die for 4 more hours. That's all it is. Just like, I'll see the next 4. I'll see what's up. It's tough, man. Like, that's a tough one, food, because it's like you gotta eat. You can't stop. You have to eat. If you want to eat better, you have to do what you love a worse way forever. Like, if you're trying to quit, like, booze or drugs, that has its own hurdles. I'm not dismissing that struggle. But at least you can abstain. That's the benefit. Is you're like, I'm done, and it's over. It's like, eating healthy is like if you were an alcoholic and you wanted to quit drinking, but you still had to polish off a 12-pack of O'Doul's before your kid's T-ball game. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, now it's just a lot of liquid, you know? It's not fun now. So, I don't know, man. It's like everything, you know? We all have stuff we have to do, stuff we don't really think about, like shitting, right? We all shit, don't really think about it, just is what it is. But imagine there was 2 shits, all right? First shit, standard shit. It's the shit we all do. Don't really think too much about it. It is what it is. Not too good, not too bad. But then imagine there's this second shit. Doesn't take anything, no money, no effort, just a decision you make in every moment, what you're going to do, shit 1 or shit 2. The second shit, as soon as you shit, you come. All right? Now, wait a minute. Here's the caveat. If you choose to shit come too much, you might die of a heart attack randomly in a parking structure sometime in your 40s. All right, now, who still wouldn't shit come most of the time? You know what I mean? It's too good. You'd be saying the same things you say now. You'd be like, dude, my grandpa shit cummed his whole life. He lived to be 82. You know what I mean? Like, got good genes. Not even worried about it. It's crazy. I got one more shit thing. I just like to warn people. I feel like if you hear 2 shit things in a row, you're like, is it all shit stuff? And you tune out, rightfully so. But if I tell you there's one more, you're like, I'll do one more. We're here at the Hostel Euphoria, cool venue. They got a gender-neutral bathroom. I guess they just have the one, but that counts. You know what I mean? And I like being in a city like Chicago. I live in Chicago. Most places I go now, 3 is the new norm on bathrooms. If you have 2 bathrooms, you're below average. You're hitting the under. 3's the new, which I like. Because if I go into a bar or restaurant that has a gender-neutral bathroom, I know that I'm in an establishment where if I have to take a shit, there's a private stall for me to do that in. I don't know if you guys realize that gender-neutral bathroom is just a private shit stall that, by definition, anyone can use. It's pretty great. It's the best thing to happen to public shitting since the handicap stall. It's pretty good. Who's against these? It's people, I know. But, like, that's the problem. It's just like, it's a divisive name. You know, some people are just not going to be on board, all right? Whether you like that or not, that's just how it's going to be. But why you have to call it that? Why can't you just propose legislation in Congress called the Private Shitstall Revitalization Act, right? They would be in every Applebee's in North Carolina by the end of the month. Sometimes you can't get what you want how you want. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to hide the progress in the mashed potatoes. You know what I mean?